It's the Monday Night Results Show. Just the results, and nothing but the results. From this past weekend's race at your favorite racetracks, if you're looking for a lot of happy talk and fluff, tune into the Disney Channel. And now, the man with a mind for statistics. Unfortunately, those statistics are usually odds on the ponies in Vegas. Mitch, the Dr. Walker.
All right, welcome back. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker. They call me the Doctor. And boy, have we got a show lined up for you tonight. But I tell you what, let's kick it off like we kick it off every single week and every single show with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Two things first, real quick. I need everybody to keep local, I say southeastern United States racing legend C.L. Pritchett in your prayers. He's under the weather, but he could really use some prayers and some good thoughts. So if you're so inclined, please do so. Also, there was a young man who I met here a few weeks ago who just happened to turn up with some T-shirts at just exactly the right time. And we talked about him a little bit on the show when we had Josh Fields on. And, today is his birthday. And I want to wish a very special birthday to Josh McGeorge. And I want to thank him for the idea of the T-shirts because it was his idea. I was standing there. I watched the little gears turning in his brain. When he seen what was happening, he jumped up and he said, "Hey, we got some T-shirts in the truck and they're all kid sizes too." And Josh says, "Man, go get them." And they did. And I know we talked about this last week, but I can't tell you how much that meant to me for what they done down there at North Georgia Speedway that night, Easter weekend. And today is Josh McGeorge's birthday. He's 26 years old. And I just want to say happy birthday, buddy. Take it easy today. Doctor's orders. So keep that in mind. Also, a great kickoff over at Huntsville Speedway. They kicked that off this past weekend with their first race. We're going to be talking about that. And we're also going to be talking a little bit later on about a video by Todd Morris, who had sent me quite a few drivers, and one of them was the legendary Bill Blair. Bill Blair, a man who walks in two different worlds. I know a lot of people haven't ever heard that phrase before, but he does. He is a gifted man who walked in the world of racing as it used to be back in the 50s and the 60s, and he walks in the world of today, preserving history with the Okanichi event they have over there in South Carolina, and doing all he can to promote and maintain the legends of the sport and the history that they represent. And we'll be talking about that a little bit too. So I'm telling you, we got a great show, but the real kicker to the show is the one everybody's been waiting for. Tom Darby and John Young, who are going to be match racing this weekend at North Georgia Speedway. They're going to be joining us right after the break. So everyone sit back, don't go nowhere. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker, right here exclusively on the Performance Motorsports Network.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball in street? Girl in street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more, but the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives, and so should you.
Motorsports Sales Professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
You've got it locked to the Monday Night Results Show. Actual evidence that the math you learned in high school can be useful. Now back to the doctor.
All right, welcome back. And joining us right now on the show, two guys who I have really grown to think a lot of the past month or so. These 2 guys are great. Joining me right now, the legendary man himself, Mr. Tom Darby, and his co-legend, Mr. John Young. Tom, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing real good. How are you doing?
I'm finding a frog hair split 3 ways and sanded. John, how about you?
Hey, we're just living life up down here in Jacksonville, Florida tonight, Mitch. How y'all doing?
Well, I know you've been out there super trucking and getting it done out there, hauling all that heavy stuff. So big thanks to ATS for letting you come on tonight and not making you run up and down the highway.
Hey, I'm looking forward to bringing that Drive for ATS dirt car up to North Georgia next weekend and giving this old man a run for his money.
Well, I tell you what, this has been an ongoing thing, and I am tickled to death that you guys have got together and worked it out. But now we do have some rules in place. Now, I want to make you guys aware of these rules.
I don't know what rules are. I can't read.
Well, I'm going to give them to you. Okay, when it comes to your car, it's run what you brung and hope to God you brung enough.
Well,
okay.
Mitch, I'm offering to let him drive my car so he can have a fast car.
Okay. Now, I do have a surprise for you. I haven't told either one of you, but I just got off the phone with Chip Burke a while ago, and here's what we're going to do. I tell you, everyone has been wondering, when is the match race going to be? When is the match race going to be? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to run our hot laps, our heats, and our qualifying. When we get ready to start our features, we normally do our national anthem, and the car carries the flag around the track, and we do our prayer at the same time. So what we're going to ask you 2 guys to do, and
This is just going to be a precursor to what's going to happen. We're going to ask each one of you to carry a flag and go side by side one lap during the national anthem. Are you two okay with that?
Yeah, that sounds great to
I
me.
would be honored to do it.
All right, we're going to do that, and then after the national anthem, we're going to take the flags away from you. We're going to give you your helmets back. We're going to let you go one lap to warm them up, and then we're going to throw the green. 5 laps, no yellows, no reds, no nothing but wide open, full throttle racing. First one back to the start-finish line after 5 laps is the winner.
And you ain't going to let him go to the bathroom during that time.
Well, I mean, if he can run 5 laps and go to the bathroom and still be at the start-finish line when you get there, I don't care what he does.
Well, I'll be at the finish line taking my nap waiting on him to get there. I mean,
Now, really and truly, I want to ask y'all a serious question. John, I know you and I have talked about this, but share with our listeners just how long it is you and Tom have been racing together.
Well, I've been racing with him a long time, but he's just been going to the track.
I tell you, Mitch, it's been my privilege to race with him since 1992, and off and on. I tell you what, we've had a lot of fun over the years. We really have, and I miss the fun that we've lost.
Well, you need
here.
to tell him about the time you lost $5 on me of qualifying better than you. You need to tell him that.
Well, now. I shouldn't be telling lies, Tom. I mean, we're on the radio now. So, but I did slip a little bit, and you did out-qualify me one time while I was sleeping, I think. So.
What about the go-karts in Florida when you tried to wreck me and couldn't catch me?
Well, that's because you had interference running with another fella there. You had a blocker on the track now. Go ahead and tell the whole truth. So.
I want to know, somebody said something about mowing grass the other day.
Yeah, well, when he mows the grass, he's got a front yard that's 100-foot square and a backyard that's 200-foot square. And he mows the front, and then he goes and mows the back, and by the time he gets the back mowed, the front is done growed 4 inches.
Oh, man, he's come prepared tonight, ain't he?
Boy, he's locked and loaded, I'm telling you what.
Hey, his wife, did you hear what his wife said?
What did his wife say, Tom?
She said that he goes faster getting to the race than he does on the racetrack.
Oh, so he's one of them highway racers, huh?
Yeah, I reckon he is.
Well, at least I can put gas in my car to finish a race. I mean, geez, you can't even get enough gas.
Yeah, but I hadn't got my Social Security check at that time.
Well, I've offered to loan you enough cash this weekend, so make sure you get enough gas to go at least 5 laps.
Well, bring it on. Bring it on. I use it.
But I need that in return now at the end of the race, so I can buy my gas to get back home.
Well, maybe Mitch will loan you some, but I'm winning the race.
Hey, we'll go out there and get some out of the pack car or out of the water truck.
Now, I just want to ask one serious question, because the last time I remember racing at North Georgia with you, Tom, I had this thing. I couldn't figure out why another guy run all over you coming out of turn 4 down there, and I was standing on the trailer watching it, and lo and behold, when you come in the pits, you cut the switch off. Are you going to do that for, Saturday night also?
Well, I should be far enough ahead. I can do that.
Well, if you cut the switch off now, I mean, I don't want to take a chance on running over you while I'm coming around to lap you.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You better be looking a long ways ahead then.
I mean, that's kind of dangerous now. You don't need to be doing that. I know you're getting old and senile, so I don't want you to forget.
You'll have a full turn to look for me, away behind me.
Well,
now, Tom, which car are you bringing?
The fast one.
Well, I don't know. He keeps
He's going to bring the one that's going to win.
That's right.
He keeps telling me he's going to bring this guy named McDowell's car. I don't know if he is or he ain't.
Well,
you know how he
Dal
is.
Dal offered to let me have his.
Well, now, John, I got to tell you something now. You might be in trouble because Tom told me here a couple of years ago, and he told me on the show here a couple of months ago that he's been practicing for 47 years. So, he's got an edge on you.
Yeah, he does got a little bit of an edge on me there. I ain't got quite that much practice in, but I'm working on it. I'm slow out of the gate, but I'm pretty fast at the end. So we'll see what happens.
Now, we're going to start y'all side by side. There won't be no jumping the start. Now, I want y'all to know, hey, we have brought in a special flagman just for this race. We got a young man named Jason True who is going to be flagging this race, and he has brought his official NASCAR-sanctioned flags to come flag this race for you guys.
And
I hope he can keep that old man in check there because he's bad about jumping starts. We
have to wait till the flag drops, or you're gonna draw a line.
I ain't decided yet. We're gonna wait till y'all get there before we decide that.
Now I need to know now.
I think we're gonna have y'all come side by side off of turn 4. And then I'm going to be in the tower, and I'm going to give it to the flagman and tell him whenever he's ready to wave the green hanky, just to turn y'all loose.
That sounds like a good deal.
I got one more question on this, just in case he does jump the start like he's been known to do. Is that rearview mirror of his going to be took out of his car before he gets started?
We'll put duct tape over it.
Cause he swears he don't carry a rearview mirror, but me and about 100 other racers knows better than that.
Well, now, I know there was a man that come over there. I ain't going to call no names, Davy Davis, but he come over there with a brake light on the super late model one time. And I asked him, I said, Davy, what in the hell is that? He said, I don't want nobody to run over me.
Well, Tom's good at mirror driving, and he says he don't, but it's funny. He sure does know where everybody else is behind him when they're trying to go around him.
Are you going to put soap or something on the front of your car so the mud will come off when you get through racing?
Well, I don't plan on any mud being on the front of my car.
Hey, guys, I tell you what, we're up against a break. This has been a ton of fun, and I look for a whole lot more of it this coming Saturday night at North Georgia. For everybody that's listening, North Georgia Speedway, this Saturday night, it's the Ernest Young Memorial, 3,000 to win super late model race, and right after the national anthem, we're going to turn these two right here loose to go for 5 laps for bragging rights and see who buys breakfast at Waffle House after the races.
Well, he better have made some money on that trip to Florida then.
I believe we ought to have a couple of surprises in there for the fans, too, as we talked about, Mitch. I don't know if y'all can make that happen or not, but we'll work on it.
We are working on that. We're working on we're going to find 2 fans, and there's going to be 2 fans that are going to be up there, and whoever the winner has to buy, or the loser has to buy the other driver's fans entry ticket.
That's
okay,
right.
That sounds good.
Whoever's got the number 15 ticket, Tom's got to buy their way in. So.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're up against the break. I'm going to have to let you go. Thanks so much, and I will see you both Saturday night at North Georgia Speedway. How about that?
Okay, and thank you very much.
Anytime, Tom. Thank you, John.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump out of here real quick.
That was John Young and Tom Darby. If you want to see these two go at it, be at North Georgia Speedway Saturday night for the Ernest Young Memorial. We're going to jump out of here, take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker. They call me the Doctor, exclusively right here on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Do you love the sound of high revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today?
The only thing I didn't learn today.
The only thing I didn't learn
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Media sales professionals with agency experience. If you're frustrated with your current position, unrealistic quotas, and inept management, if you're a sales machine and you simply will not take no as an acceptable reply, if you're looking for a rapidly growing company with unlimited sales potential for commissions in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you're searching for a high-tech, forward-looking, laid-back, but extremely professional organization who appreciate your skills and dedication, we have your next opportunity. Scorpion Radio Group is building a sales team of self-starters who are motivated. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444 or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. That's 717-749-0444 and ask for Sue.
COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, is a lung disease that robs people of their ability to breathe. As many as 24 million Americans suffer from COPD, also known as chronic bronchitis or emphysema, and half of them don't know they have the disease. If you or someone you love is over 35 and has smoked more than 100 cigarettes in their lifetime, visit driveforcopd.org and take the screener, then take that to your doctor. I'm Jeff Stoltz, and I drive for COPD.
It's the Monday Night Results Show, the internet radio show that gives you the results from your favorite racetracks. And that's it! If you're looking for a lot of happy talk and fluff, go watch NASCAR coverage on ESPN. Now, here's the doctor.
All right, welcome back. You know, there is legends in the sport that have lots of stuff that is protected, and they keep it stored in safe places. Well, Richard Petty had a fire at his shop this past weekend, and didn't burn anything serious, but it is going to require some reconstruction. They're going to have to do some repair work, but the museum is still open. It happened at the shop at Level Cross, and the shop started out in 1948 as a one-room shop, and over the years, as they grew and grew and grew, they wound up making 16 additions to this shop. So you can just imagine what a lesson in history it is to walk through that shop and to be able to experience all the things that the Pettys have accomplished over the years, and to see it right there in front of you. It is a true experience if you've never been to Level Cross, to go up there and go through that. Anytime you get to go to a a race shop like that. I've been through Bill Elliott's home grand opening.
Get your speaker going.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Mitch.
Josh McGeorge. Hey, this is the doctor. I just wanted to jump in there and say happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, thanks, pal. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, I don't do this for just anybody, but after what you guys done for me at North Georgia Speedway, man, it's the least I could do. It just, I want you to know when I was standing there and you seen what was going on, the confusion that happened. And, I mean, we were just overflowing with kids that we didn't expect that many. And you looked up and you said, hey, man, we got some T-shirts in the truck, and they're all kid sizes. I seen the look on your face, just the way your mind was working, and you ran over and grabbed those, man. I just want to thank you for being Johnny on the spot that night.
Well, you're more than welcome. It was an honor to do that, and it was the least we could do. I hate that we ran out of eggs, and the kids, some of them didn't get any, and I hope that the ones that didn't got a T-shirt, and if they didn't, hopefully we can make it right with them in the future.
Well, I tell you what we're going to do. I had planned on mentioning this a little bit later, but since I got you on and you were there, you knew what happened. Here's what we're going to do for the kids at North Georgia Speedway this coming weekend. We are going to take, Chip has, I think, 3 5-gallon buckets full of candy. We are going to strow those down the front straightaway. Then we are going to let the kids come out, and we're going to do it like we originally intended. Age bracket, this group goes this way, this group goes that way. When they come through the gate, we're going to be standing there pointing them whichever way they go by whichever age they are, and we're going to have them clean the track. So that is our way of giving back. You know, the kids get to come out on the racetrack, and they get to experience what it's like to be out on the Club Nasty Fast Clay there at North Georgia Speedway. And they get to get out and run around on the racetrack and pick up candy, and, they help clean up the track.
Right. I guess that is a small way of giving back to the kids, and I know it wouldn't be the same as hunting the same night as everyone else with the eggs and all, but that's a great effort by you guys, and I'm not sure where we plan to race at this weekend, but I do have an extra shirt, and if you want to do a lucky drawing or a winner's egg or a prize or some sort of thing like that, we have another shirt available.
All right, I appreciate that, Josh. Now, what we're going to do, we've got a few things planned, but some of the things that we've got planned we're kind of keeping a secret. A couple of them, just in case Chip's not listening, a couple of them Chip don't know about yet. But we've got a couple of things planned that we're going to be doing topside. That he might do backflips when we give this stuff away, but we don't care. It's all for the kids.
That's right. That's the main thing. That's the future of our sport right there, is them young ones.
That's right. All right, Josh, I'm going to let you go. We're going to get back to the show, but I just wanted to say happy birthday. And what are you, 26?
Yeah, 26 as of this morning, I reckon. Last I can count.
All right, man.
I'll let you get back to the show. I enjoy it, and we'll be listening to you.
Thank you, sir. And, hey, good luck wherever you do decide to turn some laps at this weekend. Best of luck to you and Josh, and Godspeed to you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Josh McGeorge, ladies and gentlemen, crew chief for Josh Fields, who we had on a couple of weeks ago, who was kind of my lifesaver at North Georgia here a couple of weeks ago, Easter weekend. I just wanted to jump in there and throw that at him and kind of catch him off guard. And I want to thank Josh Fields for helping me out with that. All right. Now, I normally don't jump on Formula One, but something happened this weekend that got me to kind of checking some things out. Carl Haas, who is part owner of Tony Stewart's race car team, started up Formula One team. And 2 weeks ago, down in Australia, they come up with a 6th place finish. This is the first time on the racetrack. And then last week, they come up with a 5th place finish here in Bahrain, or however you say it. And Haas Motorsports is kicking butt over there. But you know, while I was doing my research on this, I got to reading about Formula One. And I got to seeing some comments about this buffoon, and I say that for lack of nicer things to call him, Bernie Ecclestone. You know, this dude is a serious idiot, okay? Now, I've called Brian France brainless. I've called out series directors, racetrack owners. You know, I've called them all out. I don't care. I got big shoulders. I can take it. But this man made a comment this past weekend that really, really rubbed me the wrong way. And there was the team owners filed a grievance letter, and they asked for a change of governance. The Drivers Association did. And they asked for a change of governance for Formula One, calling its current structure obsolete. Bernie Ecclestone responded with a letter of his own. And this is what he said. What sort of interest do they have, the drivers, other than taking money out of the sport? I've never seen one of them put $1 in. You go to dinner with them, they don't even pay the bill. They shouldn't even be allowed to talk. They should get in the car and drive it. Now think about that for a minute. That is a man who is running Formula One. That man is a living, breathing, walking, talking, blithering idiot. Now, just to show you how big of an idiot he is, he's been around for quite some time. And 2005, he was talking about Danica Patrick. And he made a remark. He said, you know, I've got one of those wonderful ideas. Women should be dressed in white, just like all other domestic appliances. Now think about that. Ecclestone later apologized to Danica Patrick, but then he turned around and repeated it, and then he called and apologized again. You know, I mean, the man he's a buffoon. I mean, hell, in February of 2000, he said that women would never excel in Formula One. And this is what he said. He said, for a woman to excel in Formula One, she would have to be a woman who is blowing away all the boys. What I would really like to see happen is to find the right girl, perhaps a black girl with super looks, preferably Jewish or Muslim, who speaks Spanish. Now, that kind of people want to call Donald Trump and Ted Cruz a racist and a bigot and all these bad names. What about Bernie Ecclestone? What a blithering pile of, well, I won't go any further with that, but just, you know, for somebody to be that damn stupid, how did he get to be as old as he is without somebody just running over him? I mean, my God, just, he is, I read those comments and it made me mad, you know, and now I'm not a Danica Patrick fan. I mean, I agree. She is good for NASCAR, whether you like her or not. She does provide diversity, and she is kind of coming along, you know, slowly but surely. And she is pretty. Can't deny that. Although I fail to see what she sees in Stenhouse, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. She whips him on a regular basis, well, on the racetrack anyway. But, you know, it just absolutely amazes me some of the things people get away with saying, and nobody calls them on it because they got big money behind them. Screw that. The Monday Night Results Show, we may not be some big super duper international, have zillions of listeners tuned in each and every Monday night, but what I do have is I have loyal fans who tune in each and every week. They send me stuff that they want to hear about, and that's what we talk about. We cover items that the fans and the listeners are concerned about. If you hear me talk about a racetrack and the results from that track, it's because a listener sent me a message and said, hey, could you do these results? Or, hey, could you cover this track? Or, hey, could you cover this particular driver? That's what we do. We listen to the fans, unlike some of these other buffoons. All right. I do have some kind of breaking news that I want to share. We are going to be doing something here real soon that is kind of unique. There is a young lady who will be a guest on next week's show. Her name is Allie Owens. And if you don't know anything about her, I suggest you start looking, because this girl is on her way to the top. She's from Daytona Beach area, and she has been racing down there for quite some time. But this year, when the NASCAR Truck Series rolls into Eldora, this young lady is going to be wheeling one of BJ McLeod's trucks, and she is going to have some help from Venturini Motorsports, who she raced in ARCA for. They're going to help her with truck setup and be her resource, which allows her old crew chief, Jeff McClure, to come call the shots for her. And I'm telling you, this girl is locked and loaded, and she is all about grassroots racing and the little guy getting some recognition. And we are working on a deal to follow her from now until Eldora. It may be every week. It may be every other week. We're still working on this to see how we're going to do it. But we are going to follow Allie on her trip to Eldora. This young lady is going to go up there, and I've got faith that, if faith and enthusiasm wins races, they might as well just go ahead and give the checkered flag to this girl, because she has got it in spades. And she also has kind of a ace up her sleeve. We may get her to spill the beans about this a little bit later, but she is going to be having a legendary spotter from the Cup Series who has jumped up and volunteered to come be her eyes in the sky in the spotter stand, and who has won at Eldora with a driver in the past. So that narrows the list down pretty short. But with Venturini Motorsports behind her, Jeff McClure on top of the box, and a winning spotter up in the sky, I look for big things for this girl. And we're going to be talking a lot about her, and she will be a guest next week on the show. So make sure you mark down your calendars. And if you don't know who Allie Owens is, look her up. A-L-L-I Owens. Look her up. She's out there. And hit the like button, Let her know that you heard about her on the Monday Night Results show, and that we're going to be following her on a trip to Eldora. We're working out all the details. We'll get all that situated and let everybody know what's going on. All right, now, a little bit later on, I do have some results from the Illini 100 from up at Farmer City. We're going to be talking about Farmer City and Boone Briggs' big crash up there and what happened. And we got some IMCA results from Canyon Speedway Park. We got the Bama Bash results. We've got some results from Casa Grande, Arizona, the Central Arizona Speedway. Huntsville Speedway, we've got their results that'll be coming up here in just a little bit. After 2 years of sitting idle, Huntsville Speedway roars back to life. Robbie Edger, he has got it going on over there, and they had a big show the first night this past weekend. We will be talking about them as well. And the guys from up at Riding the Cushion have hooked us up with some more results, and we've got some things to talk about up there. And we'll give you something to ponder on. But right now, we're going to jump out and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll jump right into all of it with both feet and just make a big old splash, just like a typical high-tech redneck would. You know how I am. I ain't scared. I do it all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go nowhere. Everybody sit tight. We'll be right back in just a minute. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker. They call me the Doctor, exclusively right here on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm gonna do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speed, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Covering the entire field from the back markers to the race winner every weekend. It's the Monday Night Results Show, the Internet's only racing results show. Now back to the doctor.
All right, welcome back. And, we have bounced this around various times. Me and Jimmy G talked about this last week. Ute tires, heavy equipment tires, used as corner markers at racetracks. A couple of years ago, Shane Clanton, a lot of us call him Coconut. He's also points champion from last year. He hit one of those out there in Arizona, hit it so hard, it just grazed it with the left front wheel. It turned the car hard around, and he hit the outside wall head on. Hit it so hard, it split the motor in half. It cracked the motor in half. That's how hard he hit the wall. If it had not been for the safety that was built in to the Capital race car that he drove and his use of safety equipment, I don't think Shane Clanton would be with us today. All because of one of those tires. I cannot count the pictures that I have seen over the past 6 or 7 years, well, longer than that really, of the race cars who have become airborne just like hitting a ramp when they hit one of these tires. I have seen it launch cars into the fence. Now, in Farmer City Speedway's defense, this tire was not as a corner marker. It was sitting at the end of the wall. Now, you want to talk about some piss poor track design. Why would you have a wall end where the cars are coming off the corner? Why would you need to put a tire there? why not build a proper wall? I know it costs money. Yes, it sure does. But you know, so does the driver's life. It is not something that a lot of people really pay attention to anymore. They're only worried about how much does it cost and what do I get out of it. This mentality and this way of thinking has got to stop. And you want me to stop talking about it? Track owners, promoters, start doing something about it. You know, concrete walls are expensive. Yes, they are. And yes, safe walls are even more expensive. I can understand a track not having a safer barrier. I can understand that. Because, I mean, that cost is really exorbitant. But you can do other options. A dirt berm. I mean, that works better than the abrupt stop of hitting one of those stupid tires. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, well, I'd rather hit a tire than I had a concrete wall. Well, there's also a lot of people that's out there that says, oh, hell, I don't care. I'll race at a racetrack that don't have an ambulance. I'm not going to wreck anyway. Well, you know, we had a man named Mr. LePere on the show last year who has an IMCA modified that is mounted on a rotisserie. He puts you in it. He straps you in, hands you the steering wheel. You put it on the steering column. And then he proceeds to rotate the car. He don't tell you, he will ask you before he starts, which way, if you wreck, which way is your car going to land? Nobody can answer him because nobody knows how they're going to wreck. Nobody plans on wrecking. Nobody plans on hitting a wall. But it happens. And since you can't predict how or where or when it's going to happen, he shows you. He rotates you and disorients you so many times, he will flip this thing over 3 or 4 times, roll it to the right, roll it to the left, 2 times to the right, once to the left, stop, back and forth, up and down. And then he stops it in an odd position and tells you how quick can you get out. If you have never been upside down in a race car, you do not have any idea how disorienting it is. It's something race car drivers should practice. I know it sounds really stupid. I know it sounds dumb. And you think, why the hell should I practice something I never intend on doing? Well, you know, if you look at it that way, why do you go practice your race car if you never intend on winning? Oh, you intend on winning? Well, you know, that's a different story, you say. Well, if you race and if you win, you're going to have to push it to the limit. You're going to have to find that fine line between control and chaos. Because to win, you have to ride that line. You have to straddle it. You have to walk in 2 worlds. And if you do, one day, you're going to go for a ride. And it's going to be worse than any e-ticket ride at Disneyland. That's what I'm talking about. You've got to be prepared for the unexpected. And there's a lot of drivers out there that are not. There's a lot of drivers that have went their entire career and never been upside down. And if you look at those drivers, those are the drivers that have run 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th all their life. Not knocking them. Every racetrack has to have them. Some drivers have it, some drivers don't. But all drivers need to be prepared with their safety equipment, their personal protective equipment, helmet, fire suit, head and neck restraint, gloves, shoes, and seat, and belts. Make sure that all your stuff is up to date. Make sure that all your stuff is properly attached. Make sure that everything you have is the best that it can be. And if you're needing some of that safety equipment, feel free to go check out our safety page. It's called Safety Equipment Exchange. If you have a safety-related question about something you're not sure about, how do I mount my seatbelt? Or how should I mount my seat? Post the question on there. We have some of the best chassis builders, crash crews, seat guys, belt guys, guys from the Safety Motorsports Foundation. All of them are administrators on our page, and they are there to answer questions. And if you ask a question that we don't have, one of the administrators don't have an answer to, we have between all of us, we have the man who can answer the question on speed dial. We will get you an answer to your question. Feel free to post them on there, and if you see other drivers posting and you can answer their question, join in the discussion. That's what makes it all more fun. Everybody can join together, work together, and share together to make racing a better sport and a safer sport. All right, that's my rant for this week, is a little bit of safety talk. Now, we have got some results coming up. Let me see. How much time are we looking at? I will figure this out. We have got the results from Big Diamond Speedway up in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. They have a big race that kicked off the modifieds, and we've got the crate and the modifieds from the Hard Clay Open up at Orange County Fair Speedway, Middletown, New York. For those of you that don't know, that's also where Orange County Choppers was located. Anyway, let's run through those results. The Bob Hilbert Sportswear Short Track Super Series, fueled by VP. In the North Region Event Number 1, modified feature, 50 laps. Crossing the starting line first, it was Brett Hearn, but he refused a post-race technical inspection. Since these guys run by weight according to their cubic inch, there was some bad blood between him and Tommy Meir, who was made the winner after Brett Hearn's DQ. More on that a little bit later. Second place was Danny Johnson. Mike Ricci was third. Anthony Bacchetti was fourth. L.J. Lombardo was fifth. Eric Rudolph was sixth. Gary Edwards was seventh. Mike Mahaney was eighth. Rick Ritchie Jr. was ninth. Billy Van Ingwen was 10th. Mac Janik was 11th. Stuart Friesen was 12th. David Van Horn Jr. was 13th. Craig Hansen was 14th. Tyler Dipple was 15th. Corey Lowett was 16th. 17th was Ryan Darcy. Matt DiLorenzo was 18th. Randy Chrysler was 19th. Jeff Holtzler was 20th. Danny Creedon was 21st. Josh Hohenforst was 22nd. Jackie Brown Jr. was 23rd. Robbie Green was 24th. Anthony Perergo was 25th. Rob Rowe was 26th. Jerry Higbee Jr. was 27th. John Ferrier was 28th. And Nick Nye rounded out the 30-car field, but Brett Hearn getting the big DQ for refusing post-race tech inspection. In the crate feature, the 602 crate feature, 25 laps, it was Brett Hearn taking the win there. David Schilling was second. Michael Storm was third. R.J. Smith was fourth. Billy Eggers was fifth. Winner Meade was sixth. Steve Eubank was seventh. Michael Sabia was eighth. Tim Hartman was ninth. Frank Valencia was 10th. Matt Stangl was 11th. Dylan Stewart was 12th. Chris Stevens was 13th. Leo Fotopoulos was 14th. Allison Ricci was 15th. Dave Marachuli, I think that's right, was 16th. Dave Hussapple was 17th. 18th was Nick Norton. Raphael Carson was 19th. Austin Smith was 20th. Randy Sweetman was 21st. Tyler Boniface was 22nd. Tyler Tracy was 23rd. And Eddie Burgess rounded out the 24-car field. And move on down to Big Diamond Speedway. We will hold Big Diamond until after we come back from commercial break. One thing I want to talk about, apparently there was some bad blood between Mir and Brett Hearn, and Brett Hearn didn't want to tear down over the results. I guess something that went back to an earlier race. But, my thing is about DQs. If you get caught cheating, you take your lumps and you go home, lick your wounds, whatever it is you want to do, and straighten your stuff out and come back next week and go racing. To refuse a teardown, to refuse a protest, unless, it's a really, really good reason, you're making yourself look bad. Because people are always going to wonder, is he legal? No matter where you go, people are going to wonder, is he legal? There was a long time around here, young man named Booger Brooks. This man just gets out there and races his heart out each and every week. And he won a ton of races. People always said, he's cheating. He's cheating. He's got a cheater motor. But the thing is, Booger is just prepared. He goes to race. And that's something that a lot of people don't do. A lot of people don't go to race. They just go out there and show up and think, well, we will get what we can while we can and do what we got to do, and hopefully nobody catches us. That's not racing. Push the gray area all you want to. They DQ on the gray area, that's fine. But to go out there and blatantly cheat, what are you really winning if you cheat? Do you really, really want to win that bad that you're going to risk your reputation as a clean and fair and legal driver and race team? Do your sponsors deserve that? Do your sponsors deserve to know that the car that their name is splattered all over the side of, that he's a cheater? Do you want to go have that conversation with your sponsor? Man who writes you a check that paid for your motor or paid for your rear end or paid for your body? Do you want to go explain to him why you got DQ'd last weekend? I know I wouldn't. Think about it, people. I mean, damn, if you're going to cheat, don't get caught. Not really. I mean, push the gray area all you want to. Don't blatantly break the rules. I mean, there's a rule book for a reason. If your car don't match the rule book, don't go race there. It's that simple. If you can't build your car to fit the rules, don't race. Or don't race at that particular track. And tech men out there who are DQing people right and left, man, I've been on the end of it myself. Congratulations to you. Thank you for taking a stand. Mark Childers, North Georgia Speedway. Thank you. Terry Bingham up at Boyd Speedway. Thank you. Those are the only two tech men I know right off the top of my head. But thank you guys. And I-75 Speedway. We haven't talked about them this year. I'm having to get back in touch with them. I think they've got some personnel changes up there, and they haven't been sending me the results, but we will get those as quick as we can. I know they have been handing out some disqualifications and some suspensions. That's hard to say, some suspensions. Been handing those out pretty regular up there this year for some activities that's been going on. And I want to say tip of the hat to you for what you've done. That's what it takes to make this sport right. If you got to throw out a few bad apples, so be it. You got to do what you got to do. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, we're going to jump out of here. And when we come back, we're going to jump straight into some results. We're going to rock and roll, lock and load, so don't go nowhere. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker. They call me the Doctor, exclusively right here on the Performance Motorsports Network.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper cars, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Media sales professionals with agency experience. If you're frustrated with your current position, unrealistic quotas, and inept management, if you're a sales machine and you simply will not take no as an acceptable reply, if you're looking for a rapidly growing company with unlimited sales potential for commissions in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you're searching for a high-tech, forward-looking, laid-back, but extremely professional organization who appreciate your skills and dedication, we have your next opportunity. Scorpion Radio Group is building a sales team of self-starters who are motivated. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444 or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. That's 717-749-0444 and ask for Sue.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
How to deal with someone who says that's so gay. Outsmart them.
This party is like so gay.
Totally.
Excuse me, but did you ladies know the word gay used to mean happy or excited? Then it became a word used to describe gay people. Then somehow it came to mean dumb or stupid, which is how you just used it, which is not very nice.
Ew, that guy is on the football team and super smart, and he totally hates us now.
Totally. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off. Learn more at thinkbeforeyouspeak.com.
You're listening to the Monday Night Results Show. Back-to-back results, and that's it. You want half-naked girls, singing, and sound effects? Go watch American Idol. Now, here's the doctor.
All right, welcome back. As we talked about with Robbie Edger here a couple of weeks ago, Huntsville Speedway, Huntsville, Alabama, fine little asphalt track over there around Huntsville, kicked off their season. They've had a couple of practices this year. Robbie Edger has been working his butt off trying to get things revved up and going. And I'm telling you, good things happen to those who wait and work hard. And Robbie had a big race filled. Crowd showed up. The racers showed up. And, man, I'm telling you what, in the past weeks, Edger has been asking for support from the local racing community via social media, radio, television, and the racing community responded in resounding fashion for the inaugural event of the 2016 racing season. There were drivers in Super Truck, Sportsman, Super Stock, Mini Mod, Hot Buzz, Pro Buzz, and Buzz classes. And they christened the track in spectacular fashion at a racetrack that first began racing in 1959. That was 56 years ago. You know how I know? Well, let's just say 1959 was a very, very good year. All right, here is the results from Huntsville Speedway. We will be carrying Huntsville Speedway's results all year long in support of them, helping them out, and as a special thanks to my buddy Gary McCullough with the Track Pro safety team for all they do. They are manning the safety trucks over there at Huntsville Speedway this year, and I know some of them are kind of glad they're not getting dirty every week doing a dirt track, but then again, they're there not for the dirt, not for the asphalt, but to save drivers' lives and to be there should something happen. So tip of the hat to them as well. In the Mini Modified division, it was Chris Brown taking the win. Adam Gunner was second. Tommy Robinette was third. Butch Minor was 4th. Jerry Mills was 5th. Doug Emerson was 6th. And in the sportsman division, it was Scott Hollis taking the win. Brian Westbrooks was 2nd. Greg Cruz was 3rd. Jonathan Campbell was 4th. In the super truck division, it was Cameron Berry taking the win. Brandon Thornton was 2nd. Michael Neely was 3rd. Will Dudley was 4th. Jody Anderson was 5th. Bobby Guthrie was 6th. Daniel Bradford was 7th. Parker Henniger was 8th. And John Thomas was 9th. Matthew Tucker was 10th. In the Buzz division, David Adams takes the win over Shane Jones. Donna Thornton was 3rd. Courtney Gibbs was 4th. Corey Morrow was 5th. In the Superstock division, David Dean Jr. takes the win. Junior Jordan was 2nd. Todd Cagle was 3rd. Johnny Goodman was 4th. Caleb Thornberry was 5th. Bradley Malone was 6th. Butch Rogers was 7th. In the Hot Shot division, it was Matthew Tucker taking the win over Josh Barnett. Josh Mack was 3rd. TJ Baker was 4th. And Jacob Barnett was 5th. One of the things that I wanted to mention about this, I talked to a couple of the people that were there, and one of the things that you heard a lot in the pits was, I can't wait till I get my car finished. You know, start of the season, a couple of the guys wasn't sure things were going to play out the way they should, wasn't sure where they were going to race. Now they know Huntsville is open. They are getting ready to load their cars up and come racing at Huntsville. So watch out, Huntsville Speedway. You guys have got it going on. You're pointed in the right direction. All right. One thing that I wanted to cover, there is a group on Facebook called the Legends of Kearney Bowl. We are working very hard to get some of these drivers on. These are guys who used to race at the legendary Kearney Bowl Speedway out in California. And some of the cars they run, if they run them back here, they would be called a modified. Out there, they're called modifieds too. But down south, it's kind of like what a lot of people used to call a skeeter. Big V8, just a shell of a body, hung on a God only knows what kind of chassis. Got a wing on top, kind of an unlimited type class, and they flat haul the mail. Well, a bunch of these guys out there have got their cars out, restored them. Some of them own 3 or 4 of them, but they bring them out as often as they can and race wherever they can. And these guys are, like I talked about Bill Blair earlier, these guys are walking in 2 worlds. You know, they walked in the world of racing in a days gone by, and now they're walking in the world of today. And they are keeping history alive. You can go out there and watch these guys race. Their announcer, bless his heart, I can't say his name, but we are working trying to get him on. I'll let him pronounce it. You know, I butcher enough names doing the results, and a man of his caliber, I'm not going to butcher his name. But he's a walking history book of these guys. The Legends of Kearney Bowl. If you haven't looked them up, look them up on Facebook. I've shared some of their stuff on my page. So if you want to go to Mitch Walker, I'm the only one in Dalton, Georgia. Feel free to send me a friend's request, and I'll accept it as long as you ain't selling sunglasses. You know, that's a rage here nowadays. Selling sunglasses or hacking people's account and all that crap. But if you're a real person, I'll check you out, and if you're real, I'll add you. And you can follow me and follow some of the silly stuff I post, some of the funny stuff I post, and a lot of the racing stuff that I post. So join in. Also, I do want to mention, I just shared a GoFundMe page. I don't do too many of these because I've never been a big fan of GoFundMe, but a young man who I've known, 40 years. He was married to my cousin. His 2 kids are very near and dear to me. His name is Griffin Kinsey. He's known on Facebook as Rebel Fabricators. He does a lot of go-kart stuff, kart stands, tire racks, all that kind of stuff. Builds all that stuff himself and sells it. His son, Zach Kinsey, is 3-time Neesmith Crew Chief of the Year, working with the legend Ronnie Johnson, worked with William Thomas. His daughter, she's a karting champion herself, and Griffin has cancer. He just had surgery last week, and he is in recovery. They'll be looking to see real soon if they got it. If not, he'll be going through some radiation and what have you. Keep him in your prayers, and if you can, hit the donate button. I know he'd appreciate it, as would most of the family and racers all over. Griffin has been racing around here for years. Always a big Ford fan. His dad was a promoter at North Georgia Speedway for quite a few years. Robert Kinsey, some of you may remember him. But Griffin needs our help, and racers helping racers. That's what it's all about. So if you can, please help out. All right, Central Arizona Speedway out in Casa Grande this past Saturday night. They had the big Napa Dirt Sprint Car Series out there, the Napa Desert Sprint Car Series out there, and winning the feature, William Lundy. Josh Shipley was second, Tanner Garreau was third, Rick Schumann was fourth, Joe Schlopner was fifth, Don Kiesler was sixth, Cody Cambasin was seventh, Jesse Turner was eighth, Johnny Shelton Jr. was ninth, Kyle Shipley was 10th, Tommy Lee was 11th, Cody Batten was 12th, Kat Aragon was 13th, 14th was Aaron Jones, Steve Wagner was 15th, and Ricky Green rounded out the 16-car field. In the modifieds, it was Austin Cool taking the win over Brian Schultz. Jeremy Thornton was third. Chaz Baca, a young man that we've had on the show a couple of times last year, straight A student, just graduated high school, getting ready to go to college. He runs a solid fourth place. Mike Martin was fifth. Lance Murray was sixth. Sean Strand was seventh. Eric Center was eighth. John Morris Jr. was ninth. Kelsey Foley was 10th. Mark Stewart was 11th. Jeff Collingsworth was 12th. Brad Whitfield was 13th. Cole Peterson was 14th. Josh Wampold was 15th. 16th was Brent Schloffman. 17th was Gene Freeman. Chris Caldwell was 18th. Jacob Pace was 19th. Terry Haven was 20th. Mark Harrison was 21st. Robert Kettner was 22nd. Don Aravan was 23rd. And Ronald Webster rounded out the 24-car field. In the pure stock feature, some of that 5X caffeinated coffee that my big boss, Bob Steele, drinks so much of. Keeps him wound up like a clock. But the doctor's on it too. In the pure features, I'll settle down here in a minute. In the pure feature, it was Terry Churchwell taking the win over Nelson Morrow the second. Perry Duval was third. Austin Zeppin was fourth. Jack Lacey was fifth. Andy Marshall was sixth. Robert Culbertson was seventh. Jessica McGullum was eighth. Kevin Richner was ninth. Gary Spellbring was 10th. Johnny McCarthy Jr. was 11th. Jennifer Hall was 12th. Harlan Morhart was 13th. Vince DePalma was 14th. Derek Morrow was 15th. Mike Honeycutt was 16th. Larry Brigner was 17th. Darren Workmeister was 18th. Brian Current was 19th. And that's how they rounded them out in the pure stock division out there at Canyon Speedway, Central Arizona Speedway in Casa Grande. Now, in the bomber division, it was Stuart Ballinger taking the win over Mark Farnes. Rex Hasley was third. Anthony Colatorti was fourth. Kaylee Schneider was fifth. John Lacey was sixth. Steve Sabowski was seventh. Dixon Tipton was eighth. And Adriana Marshall rounded out the 9-car field. In the mod lights, it was Brendan Priest taking the win over John Priest. Jake Bowles was third. Chase Alvarez was fourth. Fred Donaldson was fifth. Ryan Sunblom was sixth. Ken Young was seventh. Sean Conyers was eighth. Mike Opeka was 9th. Sarah Houston was 10th. Carl Ackley was 11th. Jeff Lowe was 12th. David Lim was 13th. My buddy Chaz Baca was 14th. Jim Hawk was 15th. And Taylor Cool rounded out the 16-car field. And that's how they ran them out at Central Arizona Speedway out there in Casa Grande, Arizona this past Saturday night. Now, if you would like to have your racetrack listed on the Monday Night Results Show, it's real easy. All you got to do is send me a message, and we will get you email swapped and all that good stuff so that you can get me the information that we need each and every week. I do not do top fives. If you race at a racetrack that only sends out the top fives, I am not interested. Because as the legendary announcer Jimmy Mostedler once said, and this has stuck with me ever since I started doing radio, he said one time, he said, you know, the guy who wins the super late model race, the top division at whatever racetrack, the guy who wins paid the exact same amount to get into the pits as the guy who finished dead last in the lowest class. They deserve the same amount of respect and the same attention. And grassroots racing, the little guy, is the ones that I have always favored. And I like talking to them. I like watching them because those are the guys that are seriously passionate about what they do. And if I can't get a full rundown from a racetrack, I just soon not do their results. I mean, if you don't care any more about your drivers who run out there each and every week to give them the recognition that they deserve, then, you know, don't send me your results. But I would love to have the full rundown from wherever you race. And veterans, I haven't gotten any veterans results requests in the past couple of weeks. So if you're a veteran or you're an active service member out there somewhere stationed away from home, it would be my honor to do your home racetracks results right here on the Monday Night Results Show. So shoot me a message. You can send it to the doctor, THEDR, at charter.net, or you can send it to the Monday Night Results Show. Send me a message on there. Shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm Owen Mitch Walker in Dalton, Georgia. So my profile picture is me interviewing Ray Cook. So look me up. Add me as a friend if you like, and I'd be happy to have you. And if you got a racetrack you want to hear the results about, or you've got somebody that you want to get on the show, holler at me. We'll make things happen. All right, we're going to step out and take a quick commercial break here in just a second, but I just want to remind you that racing is something that gets in your blood. And the best way to get somebody addicted to racing and keep our sport going is to take a little one racing with you. Most racetracks, if they're young enough, they get in for free. So it don't cost you nothing to take them. And then you get them hooked on it, and then you give them back to their parents. That's if you don't have any of your own. But we need to perpetuate our sport and keep everything going. And once you see the sparkle in little kids' eyes when they get to meet drivers or they get to see the race cars for the first time, it's a special thing, and it will warm your heart like nothing else. I promise you. My youngest got to see his first race this past, when we had the big crate race, and seeing the look in his eye and seeing how excited he was to see the race cars for the first time on the racetrack, that just, it's a feeling you can't describe. And you can have that too. All you do is, if you don't have a little kid of your own, borrow one. I know there's a lot of parents out there who'd be more than happy to loan your little one on a Saturday night to take them to the races. And, you know, take a friend. And if you've never been to the races, if you're in the North Georgia area or you're close to North Georgia Speedway, contact me. If you've never been to North Georgia Speedway, contact me. I will hook you up. I'm serious. Just to get more fans to go to the races, to see what it's all about. Shoot me a message if you've never been to the racetrack, or if you've got somebody who's never been and you say the money is what's keeping you from taking them, shoot me a message. We will hook you up with a ticket to get them in at North Georgia Speedway's grandstands coming at an upcoming event. So holler at me and we will make something happen. All right, we're going to step out and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got more results. So don't go nowhere. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker. They call me the doctor, exclusively right here on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speeds, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
You hear that? That's the sound of America's only sports car. That's right, it's a Corvette. But not just any Corvette. It's your Corvette. It's that who cares if there's traffic part of your day. And this can be you when you come to Cooper Corvettes. With 60 years of Corvettes to choose from, there's always a Corvette in your budget. And they'll service any Corvette you bring in. Cooper Corvettes on Route 1 just north of Quantico and Triangle. Call, click, or visit CooperCorvettes.com.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, this is John Ondrasik of Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing, and your lifestyle is your business. But if you take it on the road, it becomes everybody's business. So please, plan ahead, designate before you celebrate. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service announcement brought to you by RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Racing is all about winning. But hey, the second place guy has family too, getting you all the results from your favorite racetracks. Now back to the Monday Night Results Show with the doctor.
All right, welcome back. And you know, one of the things that has always interested me is watching kids at a racetrack. You know, I got to watch a lot of kids at autograph sessions and getting to meet their drivers and their favorite drivers and getting to shake their hand and get their pictures made with them. If you know, if you like happy things and you get that fuzzy feeling when you do something good for somebody, that's probably one of the best ways in the world to make it happen. So give it a try if you would. All right, we've got some results from the Bama Bash. That's right. Phoenix City, Alabama, East Alabama Motor Speedway. The Bama Bash this past weekend. Main race was run on Sunday the 3rd. And guess who wins? That's right. Superman Jonathan Davenport takes the win over Jared Landers. Scott Bloomquist was third. Scott Bloomquist was leading. And things just didn't go his way. The Nightmare. Jimmy Owens was fourth. Darrell Lanigan was fifth. Earl Pearson was sixth. Brandon Shepard in the B5 was seventh. Dennis Erb was eighth. Don the Real Deal O'Neill was ninth. Tim McCready was 10th. The Kentucky Colonel, Steve Francis, was 11th. 12th was Devin Moran. Austin Horton was 13th. Austin Smith was 14th. Mac Daddy Dale McDowell was 15th. Randy Weaver was 16th. Chris Madden was 17th. Joe Armistead was 18th. Mason Massey was 19th. 20th was Clint Smith. Colton Flinner was 21st. Todd Darrow was 22nd. Matt Dooley was 23rd. Brian Reese was 24th. Now, one of the things that you haven't seen a lot of drivers talking about, or one of the drivers you haven't seen, has been Chase Youngins. After losing his brother, Grant Youngins, to cancer just a few weeks ago, Chase has taken a little bit of time off, and he will be back soon, sporting his new Capital race car, and he will be out there slinging it and getting it once again in honor of his brother, Grant Youngins, and what he has done. And if you have not seen Chase Youngins' new hauler, oh my God, it's all black. I mean, all black. Black and white interior, black and gray interior, and everything on the outside of that jewel is black. There's pictures of it on the internet. Look them up, and you'll find them. But man, oh man, oh man, I'm telling you what, it was something. Let's see. What results do we have now? The Illini 100, Farmers City, Illinois. Up there, little bitty racetrack that needs some design work done. It's hard to get excited about a racetrack where drivers can get hurt. And luckily, Boom Briggs, he crashed up there, got a little loose coming off corner, got into that tire that was sitting in front of the concrete wall. Thank God that he didn't hit just the blunt end of a concrete wall. Yes, that tire did do its job, but there are ways that you can protect the end of a wall. Namely, don't end the wall there. I know that sounds stupid, but really and truly, I mean, my God, to have something sticking out there, if he would have got turned sideways and come around and hit that driver's side first, he'd no longer be with us. But it is what it is. Hopefully Farmer City will work on getting that improved. And I can't understand. World of Outlaws has a lot of stipulations in place before they will come and sanction an event at your track. They want this big pile of money up front. They want certain conditions met as far as pit conditions, track conditions. They want it a certain way. You got to be able to seat so many stands or fans. You got to be able to park so many cars. You got to have a pit area big enough to park all the particular haulers. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The riders in their contract are ridiculous. And, you know, as a track owner, I don't think I would even attempt to have one of those races at my track. Really and truly, I mean, for the cost that it costs you to put the show together to make it right, it's just, I just stick with a weekly show. Keep my local guys happy. All right. Farmer City Raceway World of Outlaw Craftsman Late Model Illini 100. Your winner, Josh Richards, Kid Rocket. Bobby Pierce was second. Scott Bloomquist was third. Mike Myler in a Capital car. Imagine that. He was fourth. Brandon Shepard was fifth. Shane Clanton, another Capital car, was sixth. Billy Moyer was seventh. Brian Shirley was eighth. Billy Moyer Jr. was ninth. Steve Casebolt was 10th. Devin Gilpin was 11th. Jason Fager was 12th. Morgan Bailey was 13th. Chase Youngins back after, like I told you, he was back after taking some time off in honor of his brother. He was 14th. Rick Eckert was 15th. Joey Coulter was 16th. Tyler Erb was 17th. Chubb Frank was 18th. Brandon Overton was 19th. Eric Wells was 20th. Ryan Unzicker was 21st. Mason Ziegler was 22nd. Jordan Yagi was 23rd. Cody Mahoney was 24th. Chris Simpson was 25th. And 26th was Frank Heckencass Jr. Now, there are lots of race car drivers around who each one of them has their own style, their own thing. But one of the things that I get a kick out of is the way the USAC Southern Crown, Silver Crown cars do their races. You know, I mean, when they start, they do the four abreast. It's one thing to see super light models go four abreast, but when you see sprint cars, especially Silver Crown cars, go four abreast, man, that just, just revs you up. All right, Terre Haute, the action track, Terre Haute, Indiana, the Sumar Classic. In qualifying, it was Chris Wyndham with a fast time of a 16:19. Wow. A 16:19? No, his best lap was a 22:220. 22:220. In qualifying, Shane Cottle, Robert Ballou, Brady Bacon, Terry Babb, Austin Niemeyer, Cody Swanson, and David Byrne, Terry James, and Justin Grant were your top 10 in qualifying. And when they dropped the green flag on the feature, after starting a little bit deeper in the field, it was C.J. Leary taking the win over Justin Grant. Cody Swanson was third. Brady Bacon was fourth. Chris Wyndham was fifth. Shane Cottle was sixth. Shane Cochran was seventh. Brian Clausen was eighth. Jerry Coons was ninth. The People's Champion, Dave Darlin, in the 17 car this time, was 10th. Robert Ballou was 11th. Casey Schumann was 12th. David Byrne was 13th. Billy Putterball was 14th. Neil Shepard was 15th. Terry James was 16th. Austin Niemeyer was 17th. Terry Babb in the 00 was 18th. 19th was Steve Buckwalter. And in the 20th spot, it was J.C. Bland. And that is the Sumar Classic at the Terre Haute Action Track up in Terre Haute, Indiana. And in the dirt car, the modifieds at the Terre Haute Classic, the Sumar Classic at Terre Haute, it was none other than the man himself, the Herminator. Kenny Wallace takes the win over A.J. Fike. Now, A.J. Fike is an unusual name to see in a modified, considering he had sprint car ride, then he had a truck ride, then he had a drug ride. Him and his brother both went through some issues, and he is back on the road to recovery, and wish him all the best. In the third spot, it was Richie Lex taking third. The legend himself, Kenny Schrader, was fourth. Josh Harris was fifth. Zach Fair was sixth. Brian Shaw was seventh. Cullen Goodman was eighth. David Baldwin was ninth. Tyler Lowmiller was 10th. Kenny Carmichael was 11th. Josh McDaniel was 12th. Brent Hudson was 13th. Rick Wheatcamp was 14th. Kenny Carmichael must be a senior and a junior, because I got a Kenny Carmichael in the 92 and another Kenny Carmichael in the 92C. He was 15th, and Carl McGowan rounded out the 16-car field. And that is the dirt car modifieds from the Sumar Classic up there at Terre Haute Action Track this past Saturday. All right, let me see. I had some more results right over here. Here we go. Big Diamond Speedway, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, opening day up there at Big Diamond in the modifieds. It was Doug Manmiller taking the win over Billy Ponce Jr. Dwayne Howard was third. Ryan Godown was fourth. Eric Rudolph was fifth. Jeff Strunk was sixth. Danny Boak was seventh. Ryan Grimm was eighth. Ryan Watt was ninth. Brent Cressley was 10th. Brett Cressley was 10th. Andy Burkhart was 11th. Sean Fitzpatrick was 12th. Randy Chrysler was 13th. John Willman was 14th. Kevin Beach Jr. was 15th. Ron Herring Jr. was 16th. Jimmy Reaper was 17th. Ray Swinehart was 18th. Albert Scott was 19th. Rick Laubach was 20th. Paul Moyer was 21st. Mimi DeSantis was 22nd. Matt Shepard was 23rd. Jay Atkin was 24th. Justin Grimm was 25th. And Craig Von Doren rounded out the 26-car field. In the Sportsman 20-lap feature up there at Big Diamond Speedway in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, it was Brandon Grosso taking the win over Ray Woodall Jr. Mike Mamana was third. Wayne Whitmire was fourth. Matt Stangl was fifth. Daryl Dissinger was 6th. Tim Fitzpatrick was 7th. Mike Lasowski was 8th. Ray Woodall Sr. was 9th. Charlie Fayesh was 10th. Doug Hendricks was 11th. Ed Morocco was 12th. Kevin Brady was 13th. Kyle Gruber was 14th. Billy Moyer was 15th. I got that backwards. I'm dyslexic. Matt Clay was 16th. Glenn Rowan was 17th. Steve Deschmelik was 18th. Sean Light was 19th. And Skylar Sheriff rounded out the 20-car field. In the Roadrunner 20-lap winner, it was Cody Seitz taking the win over Chuck Eckert. Tim Fitzpatrick Jr. was 3rd. Chris Holland was 4th. Andy Fayesh, the 3rd, was 5th. Terry Kramer was 6th. Jim Cost was 7th. Steve Gromas was 8th. Devin Trexler was 9th. TJ Fitzpatrick was 10th. Nate Hill was 11th. Kyle Wingle was 12th. 13th was Luke Abergast. Chris Nee was 14th. Billy Wingle Jr. was 15th. Tim Spisak was 16th. Dustin Wolfgang was 17th. Jeremy Baker was 18th. And John Schlock was 19th. And that's how they ran them up at Pottstown Speedway's very own Big Diamond Speedway opening day this past Saturday night. Now, there is a group that I want to thank, and mainly Sean Shields with Riding the Cushion up in the New England area. He keeps me up to date with all the news that is news worth knowing up that way. And he keeps us all pointed in the right direction and gets me the results each and every week. And I want to thank him. He's also provided me with some very good drivers for interviews. And thanks a lot, Sean. You do a great job with your page, and you work real hard to get me all those results. Now, there was, let me see, there was one little thing I wanted to get in here. I've got some more results we're going to get to here in just a second. But something I wanted to address, I'm looking through my notes, and I don't see it right off the top of my head. I must have lost it. Anyway, it is what it is. Don't forget, this weekend, North Georgia Speedway, we're going to clean the candy off the speedway to help make up for the wrong that we done Easter weekend. Some of the youngsters didn't get to hunt Easter eggs. We're going to dump a bunch of candy on the racetrack and let the kids clean it up. Plus, let me see, what time is it? It's 11:07 Eastern time. I know Chip Burke is probably gone to bed right now, so I'll go ahead and tell you, I've got a couple of surprises. I have hijacked some of the candy that he got for dumping out on the racetrack. We're going to dump it out up topside, and we're going to let some kids pick it up there topside, and we're going to have some fun up on behind the grandstands there on the front straight. So, we got a few things planned, and we got a couple more that we're not going to tell about until you get there. But some lucky fan, not sure if we're going to be able to do the ticket thing or not this weekend. Hopefully we will, but we're going to work out a deal where there's going to be a lucky fan who is going to get their way paid into the races by the loser of the match race. Between Tom Darby and John Young, they are going to be getting stuck for somebody's entry fee to get into the grandstands this coming weekend. I'm telling you, those guys were so much fun that we had on earlier in the show, and I'm sure that they're going to bring just as much excitement and rivalry to the racetrack this coming Saturday night. So you don't want to miss it at North Georgia Speedway with the Ernest Young Memorial, $3,000 to win super race. We're going to talk a little bit about payout, $3,000 to win. What does that mean? And how other tracks do it, and how our little track does it, and how more tracks should do it. We'll be talking about that here in just a little bit, and I've got a little bit more results we're going to get to. I know we're getting ready to roll into the last segment of the show, and it's always, it seems like we run out of time before we run out of results and information that I want to share, but it is what it is. We're going to step out and take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll jump into it once again. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker. They call me the Doctor, exclusively right here on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Motorsports sales professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Every 30 minutes, another innocent person is killed due to a drunk driver.
My best friend. My brother. My poor grandchild.
My sister.
My father. My husband.
My mom. My mommy.
Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you.
Stop these tragedies before they happen. Don't drink and drive.
Do you love the sound of high-revving motors and the smell of burning rubber? Do you want to get your car sideways right at the ragged edge of control? If you've always wanted to try drifting or learn to improve your drifting skills, Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier motorsports facility, has the expert instructors and the specialized track to teach you how to drift and the skills necessary to drift competitively. From skid pad to open sessions, Summit Point Motorsports Park has the safe and open environment that allows drifters of all skill levels, new to intermediate, to get sideways and smoking. With a focus on safety and the skill set necessary to drift competitively, Summit Point Motorsports Park's Drift Nirvana is just the thing for you. Call for your reservation today, 304-725-8444. Or for more information, go online, summitpoint-raceway.com, or you can email them at office@bsrinc.com. Drift Nirvana, getting you sideways the right way.
If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
It's the Monday Night Results Show, the internet radio show that gives you the results from your favorite racetracks. And that's it. If you're looking for a lot of happy talk and fluff, go watch NASCAR coverage on Fox TV. Now, here's the doctor.
All right, welcome back. You know, recently there was a conversation about payouts. It all started about talking about one promoter. I won't call his name. He was tooting his own horn about what a great and wonderful, wonderful promoter he was, and how he cared about the little guy, and how he was the only person in the United States to sponsor a $10,000 to win front-wheel drive race. And I said, okay, that's real good and cool. What does second place get? He said $1,500. Now, you go from 10 grand to 1,500. Third place gets 400. And then from fourth place on back, or it was 10,000, 1,500, 700, 400, and then 125, two places, and then it dropped to like $40. You got $40 to start. Well, it cost you $50 to get in the damn race, so you're $10 in the hole unless you finish in the top 5. Now, that's all well and good. You know, if that's the kind of racing that people want to do, if you're a top 5 car wherever you go, that's cool, Now, there was a driver who I won't call his name. We were talking about, I said, man, how do you pick? And this is a well-known driver in the Southeast. I said, how do you pick where you're going to go race? And he said, I look at it this way. He said, I'm a top 5 car when I'm on my game. He said, I'm a top 5 car anywhere I go. So I look to see what 5th place pays. He said, I figure at my worst, I'll run 5th. He said, if I can't break even on what it costs me to go to the race, he said, then I won't go. Now, at a $3,000 to win race, second place, if you do it like it's been done for 1,000,000 years, second place should be 55%, which would be $1,650 for second place. Then $900, then $500, and you pay through the field, okay? You pay more through the field. Now, if you have a $3,000 race and your total purse is only $6,000, that tells you that you're not paying through the field. You're paying a big winner's check, but everybody else gets the short end of the stick. Now, I have to give credit where credit's due. I have raked Chip Burke over the coals the past couple of years on some of the bonehead moves that he's made, but I've also have to give credit where credit's due. He has realized his mistakes and he has worked to improve on them. More promoters need to do this. This coming weekend, the Ernest Young Memorial, Chip is going to pay through the field. He could kick the big prize up and make it more and cut the little guys down some so that the payout is really lopsided. But he didn't, because Chip's a racer himself. He knows what it's like to run at the back every now and then. And he knows how disheartening it is to go to the pay window knowing you run 10th or 11th and pull out your pay envelope and there's $20 in there, when you just spent, say, $250 to get there. It takes all the fun out of racing. Nobody races to make money. I mean, if you're racing to make money, you're in it for the wrong reason. Everybody races for the love of the sport. But, you gotta pay. I mean, you can't race for free. It costs you to race. So, you got to pay more through the field. There's a racetrack south of me that is notorious for paying a big purse up top, but the bottom of the list gets a little thin. And, I mean, some of those guys, they're basically just getting a soft drink and a hot dog, maybe some nachos. Racers, if you want to race and you want to make as much as you can, be realistic with yourself and look at where you figure you're going to run at any particular track. If you think you're a legit top 3 or 4 car, look at what the top 3 or 4 is paying. Go to the one that top 3 or 4 makes more money. If you know that you're going and you're going to be a 8th or 9th place car, look and see what 8th or 9th place pays. I mean, any race car driver out there, you know pretty much where you're going to run. Yeah, you could have a really good night and do really well, but on average, you know pretty much where you're going to run. Look at what your average finish is, and then look at what that average finish pays. And you go where it pays the most money. Don't get suckered into these high, big payouts for the top 2 positions if you're an 8th or 9th place car. Just because they say they're paying $6,000 to win, that don't mean everybody there is going to get more money. It may be like that racetrack down there on the coast of Georgia. I ain't going to call no names, but down there that advertises a 10,000 to win front wheel drive race. And yeah, it is 10,000 to win, but second place pays 1,500. Look at the cut between first and second. That is absolutely ridiculous. You know, I mean, one person's going to walk away a happy camper. Everybody else is going to walk away feeling like they got screwed. Tell you what, we got time for one more set of results. I got them pulled up here. I-35 Speedway, Winston, Missouri. In the hobby stocks, Mike Ross takes the win over Greg Gilbert. John Watson was third. Dave Castellano Jr. was fourth. Chad Legree was fifth. Ryan Wells was sixth. Dustin Graham was seventh. Saul Bennett was eighth. Brandon Pitts was ninth. David Simpson was 10th. David McQuiston was 11th. Shane Butler was 12th. In the A-Mods, it was Aaron Morant was first. Zach Sanders was second. Corey Ray was third. Derek Hicks was fourth. Nick Bedinger was fifth. Stephen Glenn was sixth. Houston Johnson was seventh. Tyler Grooms was eighth. John Hansen was ninth. Chad Thompson was 10th. Darren Shaw was 11th. Dennis Elliott out of Iowa, he was 12th. Austin Johnson was 13th. Richard Lane was 14th. Sam Florence was 15th. Anthony Logston was 16th. And Buzz Caster was 17th. In the stock car A main, Jason Estes takes the win over Thomas Roberts. Jeff Dixon was third. John Bowler Jr. was fourth. Tracy Summers was fifth. Sam Scott was sixth. Adam Paris was seventh. Aaron Sauter was eighth. Chad Walker, no relation, was ninth. John Bowler III was 10th. Dean Ray rounded out the 11-car field. In the B-Mods, it was Tim Eaton taking the win over Ed Knoll. Steve Starmer was third. Shadrin Turner was fourth. Johnny McGinnis was fifth. Adam Armstrong was sixth. Dustin Miller was seventh. Chase Rudolph was eighth. Ari Schoten was ninth. 10th was Randy Arnsworth. Chris Wright was 11th. Jonathan Knotts was 12th. Derek Mahoney was 13th. Connor Masoner was 14th. Denon Knott was 15th. Nick Haynes was 16th. Bud Wilson was 17th. Brandon Spanger was 18th. Jeremy Pitzenbarger was 19th. Coleman Browning was 20th. And Skylar Nolker was 21st. That number 32, Jeremy Pitzenbarger, he finished 19th. That's probably because his last name held him back. He got too many letters in there. All right, little humor. In the Charger A feature, it was Buzz Caster taking the win over Houston Johnson. Mike Ross was third. Marty Powell was fourth. Bud Wilson was fifth. In the E-Mods, it was Robert Fisk taking the win over Anthony Bozak. Austin Bozak. Randy Smith Jr. was third. Casey Burnett was fourth. Matt Dorsum was fifth. Derek Carney was sixth. Corey Myers was seventh. Bruce Lewis Jr. was eighth. Ninth was Billy Spillman. Josh Munson was 10th. Dylan Flowers was 11th. Greg Potter was 12th. Jason Nielsen was 13th. Jace Witt was 14th. Daniel Harris was 15th. And A.J. Sayers was 16th. In the Pure Stock feature, it was Carson Masoner taking the win over Connor Masoner. Amanda Akers was third. Austin McKenzie was fourth. Gary Akers was fifth. Nathan Dawson was sixth. And Cody King was seventh. And that's how they raced them up at I-35 Speedway, Winston, Missouri, this past Saturday night. All right, now, an apology to anybody's name who I butchered tonight. Feel free to step up and let me know about it. And feel free to clue me in on how to pronounce your name. You know, you never know the challenge until you get behind a microphone and you pull a list up and you look and you go, oh my God, that man has 19 consonants in his last name and 3 vowels. And it's kind of like, how the hell do you pronounce that? But, you know, it is what it is, and we do the best we can. And if I butchered your name, I'm terribly sorry. Again, I want to remind everybody, if you would like your racetrack or the track you attend or a track you race at featured on the Monday Night Results Show, get with me. You can shoot me a message here on the Monday Night Results Show's Facebook page. You can look me up on Facebook. My name is Mitch Walker. I'm real easy to find. I'm the only one in Dalton, Georgia, and my profile picture is a picture of me interviewing Ray Cook. So look me up, shoot me a message, and if you're a veteran, active service member, stationed away from home or just away from home, and you would like to get the results from your home track, please shoot me a message. It would be my honor to give back just a little bit to the veterans and the active service member who do so much for each and every one of us so that we may do what we do here at home while they stand in the gap and in harm's way. Also, when you do your lay me downs tonight, remember all of our veterans. Remember all of our service members who are away from home, away from their loved ones. Keep them in your prayers. Also remember C.L. Pritchard as he battles some health issues. Hope that he gets back to feeling top shelf again. Happy birthday to my buddy Josh McGeorge. I know 26 years old, man. I got socks older than you are. But wherever you guys race this weekend, best of luck to you. Don't forget, next week, young lady out of Daytona Beach area, Miss Allie Owens, is going to be on the show. She's getting ready to go NASCAR truck racing. Local girl doing good. I look for big things from her, and we're working on a program to keep everyone up to date and following her. And I've been sitting here watching the post pop up on her GoFundMe page of people chipping in a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, a few bucks here, $100 there. You know, that's just cool as frost, watching people jump on board and help this young lady live her dream because she supports grassroots racing. She is grassroots racing. And just wait till next week. We get her on the show. I'm probably going to keep her a couple of segments because she has got a story to tell. And I'm telling you, this is a young lady who is pointed in the right direction. And we're looking for good things for her at Eldora when they go up there. And if you're an iRacer into iRacing, they just signed the deal with Eldora. Dirt is coming to iRacing. That's right, you heard it. Dirt is coming to iRacing. Eldora is going to be the first track. They have locked up the deal, so don't know how long it's going to be, but we'll check it out as soon as they do. I want to thank each and every one of you who have tuned in tonight. I know some of you are listening for the first time. Some of you are regular listeners. Some of you listen when you can. Thanks to each and every one of you. Without you guys, it wouldn't be worth doing this. But the messages I get each and every week from you guys, it makes it worthwhile. So I want to thank each and every one of you personally. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening and tuning in to the Monday Night Results Show. Share it with your friends. And come out and see me at North Georgia Speedway one weekend. Schedules posted at northgeorgiaspeedway.net. Come out and check us out, and I will be in the tower. We have all the speakers working. So we're going to be rocking and rolling at North Georgia now. I'm sure everybody's going to be tickled to death. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to seeing Tom Darby and John Young get out there and go 5 laps, along with the super late models and racing in all the divisions. I want to thank Josh Fields for hooking me up with Josh McGeorge on his birthday. I want to thank Tom Darby and John Young for joining me on the show and talking about what's coming up this coming weekend. We hope to see a lot of people come out and watch the match race. Jason True will be our special flagman. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a barn-burning slobber knocker. So come on out to North Georgia Speedway. All right, everybody, it's time to roll. It's been a great one. Catch you next week, same time, same channel, same place. It's the Monday Night Results Show with your host, me, Mitch Walker. They call me the Doctor, exclusively right here on the Performance Motorsports Network. So long, everybody.
Y'all ready for this?
The Monday Night Results Show is a copyrighted production of the Performance Motorsports Network. www.performancemotorsportsnetwork.com, a member of the Scorpion Radio Group, Inc., and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. Check out our Facebook page or our section on the PMN website. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, co-host, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either PMN or Scorpion Radio Group, Inc., the advertisers, or the marketing partners. If you would like to hear the results from your local track, or you are a track owner or a promoter and want us to cover your venue, give us a call during normal business hours, 717-749-0444. IM us on our Facebook page or email us at performancemotorsportsnetwork@gmail.com. Be listening again next week as we are talking results on the Monday Night Results Show with the Doctor. For the Monday Night Results Show, I'm Big Mike.